Hey champs of ExamsNet, welcome to the question series of ExamsNet. Students, you must have explored our website www.examsnet.com. This site is a great place for you to practice your entrance exam question papers because here you will find so many entrance exam question papers along with their detailed PDF solution. And you must download our app. The link is available in the description box. So today students, we will be solving JEE Main 22nd January 2025 shift 2 paper. Okay. So in this particular video, I'll be solving the physics part of the paper. So starting with the very first question of the physics section, that is question number 26. Given below are two statements. One is labeled as assertion and the other is labeled as reason. So assertion is given as a simple pendulum is taken to a planet of mass and radius 4 times and 2 times respectively than the earth. The time period of the pendulum remains same on the earth and the planet. And reason for this is given as the mass of the pendulum remains unchanged at earth and the other planet. So we have to choose the correct statement. Okay. So we are given a planet and the earth, and according to question, the mass and the radius of this planet is 4 times and 2 times than that of the earth. Okay. So we know that the time period for a simple pendulum is given by t equals to 2 pi under root L over G. Okay, this 2 pi is constant, length is constant. So gravity, G for Earth is Gm over R square. And for the planet, G dash will be equals to G into mass. Mass is 4 times of Earth means 4m. And radius is 2 times of Earth means 2r square means 4r square. So it will be equals to Gm over R square. Again, same as G. So gravity in that planet or on that planet is equals to the gravity on Earth. So our assertion is true. The time period of the pendulum remains same, means gravity is same, so the time period will remain same. So this assertion is true, and reason for this assertion is given as mass remain unchanged. It is not the mass but the weight that changes, but here the gravity remains same. So gravity remains same, so automatically the mass will also remain same, but the reason for this assertion is not the mass, it is the weight that changes, not the mass. So this reason is false. So the assertion is true, but the reason is false. So our answer is both A and R are true. This is also true. Mass is not changing, but this is not the reason for this assertion. So R is not the correct explanation of A, means option D is the correct answer. Now next question 26. Here we are given with a truth table and we have to find the logic gate of this G. Okay. So in this question, we have to cross check this G with this truth table, whether it is a NOR gate, NAND gate, OR gate, or AND gate. Okay. A is when A is 0, B is 0, Y is 1. So when A is 0, B is 0. This 0 means this is AND gate, it will be 0. This is NOT gate, it will become 1. It will be 1 and it will be 0. 1 0 in AND gate, it will be 0. It will be 0. So here is 0, here is 0, but Y is coming as 1. Y is coming as 1, so it is not the OR gate or AND gate. It may be NOR gate or NAND gate. So there are only two possibilities left. Okay. Now the second one, when A is 0 and B is 1. If A is 0 and B is 1, then this will be 0. This will be 0. If this is 1, so it will be 0. It will be 0. 0, 0 will be 0. 0, 0 will be 0. Again, this is 0, 0, 0, but here the result is coming as 0. So it will be only possible if it is a OR gate or AND gate. Okay, but we have already cut the two option. So I think the correct answer is none of the above. Option E is the correct answer. Now next question 28. The torque due to the force. Force is given as this about the origin acting on a particle whose position vector is this would be. Okay, this is a very simple question. Just apply the formula. Torque equals to R cross F. Okay, so it will be R. R is given as iota cap plus j cap plus k cap. Sorry, and force is given as 2 iota cap plus j cap plus 2 k cap. So R cross F means it will be 1 1 1, it will be 2 1 2. So just solve this. Torque will be equals to iota cap 2 minus 1 minus of j cap, it will be 0, and plus k cap, it will be 1 minus 2. So it will be equals to, torque will be equals to iota minus k cap. So our answer is option D, iota cap minus k cap. Okay. Now next question 29. A symmetric thin biconvex lens is cut into 4 equal parts by two planes AB and CD. This is a biconvex lens. If the power of original lens is 4D, if the power is given as 4D, so we have to find the power of a part of the divided lens. Means we have to find the power of this only, not the whole one, only this. Okay. So for this, according to question AB and CD, we are cutting it in two parts. Let this is R. Okay. And this is also R. So if we have to find only the power of only one part, so it will be R and this will become infinity. Okay, so first of all, for this, if we apply the formula, so 1 over F will be equals to mu minus 1 and R, 1 over R, 1 over R means 2 over R. Let us say this is equation number 1. And for this, if 1 over F prime is the focal length, so it will be equals to mu minus 1, and this is 1 over R plus 1 over infinity, it will become 0, so it will be 1 over R only. Okay, so 1 over F dash will be equals to mu minus 1 over R. This is second, so from first and second, this 1 over F prime will be equals to 1 over 2F. So F prime will be equals to 2F. So if, and we know that power is 1 over F. So if F prime is equals to 2F, so for this the power is decreasing, it is becoming half. So if initially the power is 4D, now the new power for this only one part will be 2D. So our option B is the correct answer. Power will become half, it will be 2D only. Okay. Now next question 30. A series LCR circuit is connected to an alternating source of EMF E. The current amplitude at resonant frequency is I naught. If the value of resistance R becomes twice of its initial value, then the amplitude of current at resonance will be. Okay. So we know that at resonance Z is equals to R. Okay. So initially the current amplitude at resonant frequency is I naught. Means I naught will be equals to E over R. Okay. So I prime will be equals to E over R become twice of its initial value, means 2R. Okay. So it will be equals to I naught by 2. So our answer is option B, that is I naught by 2. Now next question 31. A tube of length L is shown in the figure. The radius of cross section at the point 1 is 2 centimeter and at the point 2 is 1 centimeter. If the velocity of water entering at point 1 is 2 meter per second, at point 1 velocity is 2 meter per second, then the velocity of water leaving the point 2. So for point 2, we have to find the velocity of the water leaving the point 2. Okay. So just apply the direct formula for it. That is A1 into V1 equals to A2 into V2. So from here V2 will be equals to A1 over A2 into V1. So A1 over A2 will be, this is radius 2 centimeter and this radius is 1 centimeter. So A1 over A2, it will be 4 and V1 is given as 2 meter per second. So it will be 8 meter per second. Okay. So option D is the correct answer. Now next question 32. The maximum percentage error in the measurement of the density of a wire. We have to find the percentage error. Okay. So this question is from the chapter of physics and measurement only, because we have to find the error here, na? So we are given with the density part. Okay, we know that the formula for density equals to mass over volume. So we have to find error in this density. So for error, we know that it will be mass over volume. Volume will be area, equals to area into length, means pi r square into L. So change in density will be equals to delta M over M plus this delta L over L plus 2 pi. Pi will remain constant, so 2 del R over R. Okay. So delta M over M. Delta M means 0.003 over 0.60 plus delta L over L means 0.05 over 10.00 plus 2 into del R 0.01 over 0.50. Okay. So when we solve it, we get this will cut out. So it will become 3 over 6 into 10 to the power 2 plus 5 over 10 to the power 3 plus 2 into 1. So 2 over 50. So solving it, we get 1 by 2 into 10 to the power 2 plus 1 by 2 into 10 to the power 2 plus 1 over 25. 2 into del R, and del R is 0.01. So it will be equals to, in terms of percentage, it will become 1 by 2 plus it will also become 1 by 2 plus this is 2 into 1 by 50. So it will become 2 into 2%. So it will be equals to 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2 plus 4. So it will be 2 by 2 plus 4. So it will be 5%. So 5% is our final answer, means option A. Now next question 33. Given below are two statements. One is labeled as assertion A and the other is labeled as reason R. Assertion A is given as, in Young's double slit experiment, the fringes produced by red light are closer as compared to those produced by blue light. Fringes produced by red light. We know that the fringe formula beta is equals to lambda d over d, and we know that the lambda of red color is greater than the lambda of blue color. So if this red color lambda wavelength is greater than blue color, so beta fringe width of red color will be greater than fringe width of blue color. So I think this statement is false because it is saying red light are closer, means fringe width for red light is less than the that of the blue light, but according to this, fringe width for red light is greater than the fringe width of blue light. And the reason for this is given as the fringe width is directly proportional to the wavelength of the light. Reason is correct. The reason is true, but the assertion is false. So for this, I think option A, means A is false, but R is true is the correct answer. Okay. Now the next question is question number 34. A body of mass 100 gram is moving in circular path of radius 2 meter on vertical plane as shown in the figure. The velocity of the body at point A is 10 meter per second. The ratio of its kinetic energies at point B and C. Okay. And take acceleration due to gravity is 10 meter per second square. Okay. So in the question, we are asked to find the kinetic energy at B to the ratio kinetic energy at C. Okay. So first of all, resolve this in terms of the component. If this is 90 degree, so this is 30, this is 90, so it will be 60 degree this part, and this part will be 30 degree. And radius is given as 2 meter, means this will be 2 and this will be also 2 meter. Okay. So if we resolve this in terms of the component, so this will be 2 sine 30 means this will be 1 meter and this will be 2 cos 60 degree. It means this will be root 3 meter. Okay, this part. If this part is root 3 meter and this whole radius is 2 meter, so this height h is equals to 2 minus root 3 meter. Okay. Now, according to question, the velocity of the body at point A. At point A, velocity is given as 10 meter per second. Okay. So at this point, the velocity is 10 meter per second. So for this, potential energy at A is 0. Okay. And potential energy at B will be equals to mgh, and height is this 2 minus root 3. So this K at A, kinetic energy at A will be equals to this mgh plus kinetic energy at B. So kinetic energy at B will be equals to this Ka minus of mgh. Okay. And this kinetic energy of A will be equals to half mv square. So M is given as 100 gram, means 0.1 kg. So it will be equals to 1 by 2 into 0.1. Okay. Into V square. V is 10, means 100 square. Means 100. So it will be equals to 250 into 0.15 joule. So Ka is equals to 5 joule. Okay. So Kb will be equals to 5 joule minus mgh. Let us say this is equation number 1. Now for point C. So for point C, we can write Ka is equals to Kc plus mgh. So Kc will be equals to Ka minus mgh. Okay. So, and this Ka is what? 5 joule. So it will be 5 minus mg into h. H is height. Height is what? This is 2 and this is 1, means 2 plus 1 into 3. Let us say this is equation number 2. So from 2, Kc is equals to 5 minus 3 mg. This is equation number 2 now. 5 minus 3 mg. Now we have to find the ratio of Kb over Kc. So Kb over Kc, it will be equals to 5 minus mgh. M is 0.1. According to question, G is 10. So it will be automatically 1. 1 into height. Height Kb. For Kb, the height will be this 2 minus root 3. So it will be equals to 2 minus root 3 over Kc 5 minus 3 into M is M into G means 1 again into 1. So it will be equals to 5 minus 2, this minus minus plus root 3 over 5 minus 3 means 2. Okay. So this Kb over Kc, it will be equals to 5 minus 2 means 3 plus root 3 over 2. So our answer is 3 plus root 3 over 2 means option A is the correct answer. Now moving on to next question 35. A small rigid spherical ball of mass m is dropped in a long vertical tube containing glycerine. The velocity of the ball becomes constant after some time. If the density of glycerine is half of the density of the ball, then the viscous force acting on the ball will be okay. So in this question, we have to find the viscous force. So we are given a small rigid spherical ball. So let us say this is the spherical ball and its mass is m. If capital M, so mg is acting in downward direction. Okay. And the velocity of the ball becomes constant after some time. So the upward force will be buoyant force plus viscous force, and velocity is becoming constant after some time as given in the question. Okay. If the density of glycerin is half of the density of the ball, so if the velocity is becoming constant, then this mg force is equals to fb plus fv. So from this fv is equals to mg minus of fb. So it will be equals to mg minus fb. Force will be density of glycerin into volume into gravity. And since in the question it is given that density of glycerin is half of the density of the ball, so it will be mg minus half of the density of the ball into volume into gravity. And we know that density in into volume is what? Actually it is mass, so it will be mg by 2. So mg minus mg by 2 will be equals to 1 by 2 mg. So the viscous force will be half mg. Means option C is the correct answer. Okay, option C. Now moving towards next question. A ball of mass 10 gram is projected with the velocity of 20 meter per second at 60° with horizontal. The decrease in kinetic energy of the ball during the motion from the point of projection to the highest point is. Okay, first of all, this question is from the chapter of kinematics. Okay, we are given with a ball of 100-gram mass and it is projected with 20 meter per second. Let us say the ball is projected with a velocity of 20 meter per second at 60° angle. 60°. So let us say this is point A, okay, and this is point B. So this component will be 20 cos 60, so it will be 10 meter per second, and remaining here is 10 meter per second. Okay, so we have to find the decrease in kinetic energy of the ball during the motion from the point of projection to the highest point. Means we have to find Ka minus Kb. So we all know kinetic energy equals to half mv square. So it will be half mva square minus half mvb square. So it will be equals to half m common va. Va is 20, so it will be 400 minus VB. VB is 10, so it will be 100. Okay, so it will be equals to half M into this 300. Mass is given as 100 gram. 100 gram means 0.1 kg. So it will be 1 by 2 into 0.1 into 300. So it will be equals to 10, 15 joule. Okay. So the change in the kinetic energy or the decrease in kinetic energy between point A and point B is 15 joule, means option C is the correct answer. Now next question. A transparent film of refractive index 20 is coated on a glass slab of refractive index 1.45. What is the minimum thickness of the transparent film to be coated for the maximum transmission of green light of wavelength 550 nanometer? Assume that the light is incident nearly perpendicular to the glass surface. So this question is from the chapter of optics. So we are given with a transparent film whose refractive index is given as 20 and coated on a glass slab, and the refractive index of glass slab is given as 1.45. What is the minimum thickness for the maximum transition? So we know that for maximum transmission, reflection is 0. We all know this. Okay. So for maximum transmission of green light of wavelength 550 nanometer. So for green light, there should be minima for the interference of two reflected light. Okay. So we know that the formula 2 mu t is equals to n lambda. So T minimum, okay, thickness will be lambda over 2 mu. So it will be lambda is given as 550 nanometer. So it will be 550 over 2 mu, and mu is 2. So it will be equals to 137.5 nanometer. Okay. So option D is the correct answer. Now next question 38. Which of the following is the correct dimensional formula for the capacitance in F, M, L, T and C? Stand for, and these stand for mass, length, time and charge. Okay. So we have to find the dimensional formula for the capacitance. So capacitance, let us say in terms of mass, length, this time and this charge. So it will be directly proportional to, let us say, mass A, length B, time C, and this charge. We know that charge Q equals to IT, so it will be AT. So it will be A, T and D. Okay. Now we know the formula of energy. Energy formula of U equals to Q square over 2C, where C is the capacitance. So for this, C is equals to Q square over U. Okay. And Q is again charge, so it will be A square T square, and U energy, the dimensional for energy is ml square T minus 2. So for capacitance it will be M minus 1 L minus 2 T4 A2. So from here we can write M minus 1 L minus 2 T4 A2 directly proportional to MA LB TC and ATD. Okay. So from here we can write it as MA LB TC plus D and AD. So comparing it with this M minus 1 L minus 2 T4 A2, we get M minus 1 L minus 2 T4. 4 means C plus D equals to 4, and from here D equals to 2. So C will be also equals to 2. So T2 and AT. AT is basically the charge C. So C2. So our dimension are M minus 1, L minus 2, T2 and C2. M minus 1, L minus 2, T2 and C2 means option B is the correct answer. Okay. Option B. Now next question 39. An electron projected perpendicular to a uniform magnetic field B moves in a circle. If Bohr's quantization is applicable, then the radius of the electronic orbit in the first excited state. We are given with the first excited state. Okay. So we know that from Bohr's quantization, we know the direct formula mvr is equals to change in the angular momentum is equals to nh over 2 pi, and we also know that the radius r is equals to vm over bq. Okay, and it is for first excited state. For ground state n equals to 1, for first excited state n equals to 2. So for n equals to 2, putting the value of r here, so we get m v vm over bq equals to nh 2h over 2 pi. This 2 will cancels out, so we get from here m v square m square v square over bq. It will be equals to h over pi. Okay. Uh, okay, in place of writing r equals to vm over bq, if we write from here v equals to r bq over m, then place the value of v here. So we'll get m r r bq over m. It will be equals to 2h over 2 pi. Okay, so this 2 cancels out, m cancels out. So we get r square is equals to h over pi into bq. So from here r is equals to under root of h over pi bq, and since we know that q is equals to E, therefore this r will be equals to h over pi be. So the radius of the electronic orbit in the first excited state is r equals to under root of h over pi be, means this option C is the correct answer. Now 40 question. A light source of wavelength lambda illuminates a metal surface and electrons are ejected with the maximum kinetic energy of 2 electron volt. Let us consider this a metal surface and electrons are ejecting from this metal surface with a maximum kinetic energy given as 2 electron volt. If the same surface is illuminated by a light source of wavelength lambda by 2, at first the wavelength is lambda, and at the second time the wavelength is half of previous one. Okay, then the maximum kinetic energy. Okay, we know that from Einstein photoelectric effect, kinetic energy is equals to what? Hc over lambda minus work function. And in the first case, kinetic energy is given as 2 electron volt. It will be equals to Hc over lambda minus, at that time, the work function is 1 electron volt. So from here, Hc over lambda is equals to 3. Okay, let us say this is equation number 1. Now, when the wavelength become lambda by 2, so for lambda by 2, the kinetic energy will be equals to Hc over lambda by 2 minus of work function. Okay, so we have to find the maximum kinetic energy, Ke dash. So it will be equals to Hc over lambda value is what? 3. So 3 into 2 minus of work function is 1. So 6 minus 1 means 5. So 5 electron volt is the maximum kinetic energy when the light source is of wavelength lambda by 2, means option A is the correct answer. Now next question 41. Given our statement for certain thermodynamic variables, internal energy, volume and mass are extensive. These are for extensive, intensive, intensive and extensive. So this question is from the chapter of thermodynamics, and champs, we know that the extensive variables depends on the size and the amount of the system. So for extensive variable, what are the variables are volume, mass and internal energy U. And for intensive, these are pressure, temperature and density. So from these four options, A is saying that internal energy, volume and mass are extensive. Internal energy, volume and mass are extensive means A is correct. In B, it is saying that pressure, temperature and density are intensive means this B1 is also correct. C is saying that volume, temperature and density are intensive, but volume is extensive, not intensive. So it is not correct. And D is saying mass, temperature and internal energy are extensive. Mass and internal energy are extensive, but temperature is intensive. So this is also not correct. So from these four, A, B are correct and C and D are wrong. So we have to find the correct only. So only A and B are correct. Means option D is the correct answer. Now question 42. A rectangular metallic loop is moving out of a uniform magnetic field region to a field free region with a constant speed. Okay. When the loop is partially inside the magnetic field, the plot of the magnitude of induced EMF. Okay, we have to find the correct graph from these four. Okay, so in this question, it is saying that let us make first the reason. Okay, this is the magnetic field reason. So it is saying that a rectangular metallic loop is moving out of the uniform field. Okay, let us understand the both the cases. If the question was asked like this, कि a bar magnet is moving inside this magnetic field with a velocity v, and in the question it is asked that here in this question it is asked that it is moving out from a magnetic field region to a field free region. Okay, so for this case, let us say this is first case and second case, but we in this question we are asked for the second case, but we'll understand the first one also. So let us assume that its length is L. If its length is L, then from the formula EMF equals to B by V, since E equals to minus del phi over del T. So if in this question it is asked that the magnet, this bar magnet, rectangular metallic loop is moving inside this magnetic field, that in that case the graph will be like this. This is T and this is EMF. It will be like this. At first it will be negative, then this, and then it will be positive. Okay, if it is asked that the rectangular loop is moving inside the magnetic field, but in this question it is asked that it is moving outside from the magnetic field in a field free region, then the correct answer is this constant term. Okay, so among these four, option C is the correct answer. Okay, now next question 43. For a short dipole placed at the origin O, the dipole moment P is along x-axis. Okay, and as shown in the figure, if the electric potential and electric field at A are V naught and E naught respectively, then the correct combination of the electric potential and electric field respectively, okay, at the point B on the y-axis is given as. Okay, so we are asked to find the correct combination for the electric potential and the electric field. Okay, so this question is from the chapter of electrostatics. So this is point A, and at point B the potential is V naught and electric field is E naught. This is the axial one, okay? And we have to find at point B means at equatorial line. Equatorial line, okay? So at the axial one, we know that the formula for E naught is equals to 2 pk over r cube, and the formula for V naught is pk over r square. So if it is asked to find at the point B, so point B the distance is 2r. So E naught will be equals to this pk over 8r cube, since it is 2r, and V naught will be equals to for equatorial V naught will be equals to 0, okay? So this is pk over 8r cube means 1 over 8 into pk over r cube. Pk over r cube is nothing but E naught by 2. So it will be E naught by 2. So the answer will be E naught by 16, okay? Since in the equatorial line, the potential V naught will be equals to 0. Okay, so among these four, E naught is E naught over 16 and V naught is 0 for the B point. So 0 and E naught by 16 means option A is the correct answer. Now question 44. If force F is given by this is applied on a particle and it undergoes a displacement this, what will be the value of B if the work done on the particle is 0? Very simple question. Work done is 0. Force is given as 2 iota cap plus bj cap plus k cap, and the displacement is given as iota cap minus 2j cap minus k cap. So for work done, F dot S is equals to 0. So simply 2 iota cap plus bj cap plus k cap dot product with iota cap minus 2j cap minus k cap equals to 0 means 2 minus 2b minus 1 is equals to 0 means 1 equals to 2b. So here b is equals to 1 by 2. So option C. Now question 45. For a diatomic gas, if gamma 1 equals to Cp over Cv for rigid molecules and gamma 2 equals to Cp over Cv for another diatomic molecule, but also having vibrational modes, then which of the following option is correct? Okay. So this question is from the chapter of thermodynamics, okay? Thermodynamics. So gamma, we know the formula for gamma. Gamma equals to 1 over 2f, where this f is the degree of freedom. So we know that for a diatomic molecule, the degree of freedom f, sorry, for a rigid molecule, the degree of freedom f equals to 5. And if it is having vibrational modes also, then we'll add 2 degree of freedom means now the degree of freedom becomes 7. Initially the degree of freedom is 5, now f prime degree of freedom becomes 7. So if the degree of freedom increases, then this gamma decreases, means gamma 2 will be smaller than gamma 1. So option C is the correct answer. Now question 46. A tube of length 1 meter is filled completely with an ideal liquid of mass 2m. A tube of length 1 meter and its mass is given as 2m and closed at both the ends. The tube is rotated uniformly in a horizontal plane about one of its ends. Let us say it is rotating like this, okay, with frequency omega. If the force exerted by the liquid at the other end is F, then the angular velocity of the tube is, okay, so angular velocity equals to given as F over alpha m. So we have to find the value of alpha. So we know that the force formula is m omega square r center of mass, and for this, since it is of 1 meter and mass is 2m. So RCM will be equals to 1 by 2. Okay. So from here, F will be equals to m omega square into 1 by 2. So omega square will be equals to 2f over m, means omega equals to under root of 2f over m. And here the mass is given as capital 2m. So omega will be equals to under root of 2f over 2m. 2 cancels out. So omega will be equals to f over m, means here there is alpha means 1. So value of alpha as asked in the question is 1. Now question 47. A proton is moving undeflected in a region of crossed electric and magnetic field at a constant speed of 2 into 10 to the power 5 meter per second. When the electric field is switched off, the proton moves along a circular path of radius 2 centimeter. The magnitude of electric field is given by this, and we have to find the value of x, and mass is this. So student, it is saying that the electric field and magnetic field are moving at a constant speed of this, and crossed means they are perpendicular. So the electric field force will cancels out the magnetic field force, means EQ will be equals to BVQ. Okay, so from here E is equals to BV, and we know that for a circular path R is equals to VM over BQ. So from here B is equals to VM over RQ. Okay, so putting this value here, so we get E is equals to VM over RQ into V. So it will become mv square over RQ. So now just put the values. Mass is given as 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 27. V is given as V, constant speed, 2 into 10 to the power 5 meter per second, whole square, over R. R is given as 2 centimeter, means 2 into 10 to the power minus 2. And Q is 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19. So it will be equals to 1.6 into 4 into 10 to the power minus 27 plus 10 over 1.6 into 2 into 10 to the power minus 21. 1.6 cancels, 2 2s are 4. It will become 2 to 10 to the power minus 17 plus of 21. So it will be equals to 2 into 10 to the power 4 Newton per Coulomb. So comparing it with that given in the question, x into 20 to the power 4. So the value of x is 2. Okay. So value of x is 2 here. Now question 48. A net current flowing in the given circuit is, okay, we have to find the net current. So this question is from the chapter of current electricity. So we know that in a steady state condition, the capacitor behaves as an open circuit. So if capacitor behaves as an open circuit, so we'll remove this part. If this part is removed, so there is no use of this part. So if this whole part is removed, so there is no use of this part. So we are left with this, this and this one. So for this, these two are in parallel, means 3 ohm is parallel in with 6 ohm. So parallel resistance will be 1 over R is equals to 1 over R1 plus over R2. So it will be 1 by 3 plus 1 by 6. So it will be 3 or 6, 2 plus 1. So 1 over R will be equals to 3 by 6. So R will be 2. Okay. And now this 2 is in series with this 2. So R equivalent will be 2 plus 2. It means 4. and this 4 is in parallel with this 4. So if this 4 is in parallel with this 4, then R equivalent will become 2 only for parallel combination. So we have R2, V is 2 volt. So the resultant current will be using Ohm's law, V equals to IR. So using Ohm's law, we get I equals to V over R equivalent. So it will be equals to 1 ampere only. Okay. So our answer is 1 ampere. Okay. Now next question 49. A parallel plate capacitor of area A equals to 16 centimeter square and separation between the plates 10 centimeter is charged by a DC current. Considered a hypothetical plane surface of area A naught equals to 3.2 centimeters square inside the capacitor and parallel to the plate at an instant. The current through the circuit is 6 ampere. At the same instant, the displacement through A naught is, okay, we have to find the displacement current. So in this question, it is given as A equals to 16 centimeter square. A naught is given as 3.2 centimeter square. And it is given that we have to find the displacement current, and current is given as 6 ampere. Okay, we know that in such cases the displacement current is equals to conduction current, and total displacement current is given as 6 ampere. So just apply the formula I equals to A naught over A into this current 6 ampere. So I will be equals to A naught 3.2 over A is 16 into 6. So when we solve it, we get 2 3 is 6, 2 8 is 16. It's in 16, 80, 24, 8 4 is 32. So it will be 1.2. I will be 1.2 ampere means 1200 milliampere. So its answer is 1200 milliampere. Now next question 50. Two long parallel wires X and Y are separated by a distance of 6 centimeter. Okay, they carry currents of 5 ampere and 4 ampere respectively in opposite direction. 4 ampere in downward direction and 5 ampere in upward direction. Magnitude of the resultant magnetic field at point P, where it is at 4 centimeter from this, and the separation between these two is 6 centimeter. Okay, since in this wire the current is flowing in the upward direction, so the magnetic field will be inward, and due to this the magnetic field will be outward at point P. Okay, and we know that for two parallel wires the magnetic field is given as mu naught I over 2 pi d. D is the distance between the two wires. So the net magnetic field at this point P will be equals to, since it is in downward direction, let us say this is second, this is first, so it will be B2 minus B1. So B2 is what? Mu naught into current is 4 ampere over 2 pi into D. D is 4 centimeter, means 4 into 10 to the power minus 2 minus B1 means mu naught I. Current is 5 ampere over 2 pi into D. D is what? This is 4 and this is 6. 6 4 10. 10 centimeter means 10 into 10 to the power minus 2. Now we know that mu naught is what? 4 pi into 10 to the power minus 7 into 4 over 2 pi into 4 into 10 to the power minus 2 minus 4 pi into 10 to the power minus 7 into 5 over 2 pi into 10 into 10 to the power minus 2. 2 is 4, 4 cancels. Again 2, 5 2 is a 10, 2, 2 cancels. So it will be 2 into 10 to the power minus 7 plus 2 minus 5 minus 7 plus 2 10 to the power minus 5. So it will be equals to 10 to the power minus 5, 2 minus 1. So it will be equals to 10 to the power minus 5. So the magnetic field is 10 to the power minus 5 means 1 into 10 to the power minus 5. So the value of X is 1 here. Okay.